So after my last video, I got this comment. Here are 3 things that were completely broken in Gen 1. 1. The critical hit mechanic. Fast Pokemon were ridiculously strong because of how often they could land critical hits. In Gen 1, your critical hit chance was directly tied to your base speed. The formula is simple. Just divide the total by 256 to get the percentage. For example, Electrode, with its insane 140 base speed, had a 27% chance to land a crit on every move. You could increase that even more with high crit moves, but whatever you do, don't use Focus Energy or Dire Hit. They're bugged. Instead of doubling your crit rate, they actually reduce it by 50%. Game Freak really messed that one up. Because of this mechanic, fast Pokemon ruled the competitive scene. Pokemon like Jolteon, who might have otherwise been overlooked, were solidly in the OU, overused tier. 2. The Leech Seed damage boost in Gen 1. Leech Seed and Toxic used the same damage scaling formula. This meant that if Toxic's damage increased, so did Leech Seed's healing. The result? A double Toxic effect, where both the damage and recovery would ramp up over time. Now picture this. You're poisoned, and every turn you take more and more damage. Meanwhile, your opponent is healing back tons of HP. Sounds brutal, right? Well, in theory, yes. But in practice, Venusaur and other grass types didn't dominate the meta with this strategy. They weren't bulky enough to last the turns needed for this to work, and competitive players often switched out their Pokemon to remove Leech Seed's effect, making it much less reliable in longer battles. Number 3. Overpowered Psychic types. Gen 1's type chart had a massive flaw. Psychic types were nearly unstoppable. Let's break it down. At first glance, they had 1 weakness, 2 resistances, and an immunity. Ghost was supposed to counter Psychic, but due to a programming mistake, it didn't. Meanwhile, the only bug-type moves available were Leech Life, Pin Missile, String Shot, and Twineedle, all of which were extremely weak. Plus, there weren't many strong bug-type Pokemon to make use of them. To make matters worse, Special Attack and Special Defense were combined into a single stat. This meant that Pokemon like Alakazam, with its whopping 135 special, could both hit insanely hard and take special hits like a wall. With no real counters and absurdly high stats, Psychic types were hands down the most overpowered type in Gen 1. And that's it. Those were 3 completely broken mechanics from Pokemon's first generation. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.